difficulty seem ironed out now. Took a second. Had some weird stuff happening there, but that's alright. We're gooch now. Let's see. So we're gonna be getting into this class trial for Ryoma, and it's probably gonna get pretty wild. I'm not prepared for what kind of nightmare is upon us. I'm sure it's gonna suck. There's a solid chance I'm gonna be very sad. No matter who it is. But let us get this underway. We have hopelessly arrived once again, haven't we, Monokuma? We're here to do what you want us to do. And that sucks, because you suck. No, I didn't want to come here again at all, actually. I was super hoping that no one else would die. But, you know, so it goes. I wonder if any of these bastards are gonna die again.
Wonderful.
Oh, Monodon's a little weird.
They're so cute. Oh? Hmm? Hey,
I don't know if I believe that or not. That's kind of weird. Love this fucking song. Danganronpa music slaps so fucking hard, y'all. It has no reason to go as hard as it does. I don't want it to be any of these people, man. God damn it. Well, it's definitely not that one in the middle, because she's already gone. At a bare minimum, we know it's probably not Shuichi. But you know what, at this point, I don't know. Well, I mean, this game is so far removed from Danganronpa 1 that knowing anything from Danganronpa 1 wouldn't be useful to you, is what's funny. Yeah, let's go ahead and save. So, this game is broken in the way that it counts, like, time where the Switch is asleep as played time. Because I haven't played this shit for no 64 hours yet. That's very funny, though. Let's see here. Do we have any other skill? Oh, we have So we're only using 8 out of 32 now, huh? Oh, I don't have enough fragments. Oh, I only have 5 fragments to spend. Does any of this look worthwhile? Yeah, you'll get a... I don't know that I don't know that the first games had skills. I literally don't remember. They don't really, they don't really do that much, honestly, at least the ones that I've seen so far. This seems relatively useful. Let's go ahead and equip that one. Let's get this nightmare underway. Try to have this shit finished before the Keeleys come on tonight.
Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it.
Yeah, I know.
Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy.
Yep, we know, Monokuma.
Refusing to vote will result in your death. So you better vote for someone.
I think that's new. I don't remember him saying that before.
Let's get this crazy awesome to the max trial underway.
I think we all know who the most suspicious one is. It's...
He's definitely gonna say
Work
Himiko.
together, everyone.
Oh, Yoshi, Tinko didn't let him finish.
The person who's most suspicious is...
Himiko.
Now lend me your energy, everyone, so we can catch the culprit.
She's not gonna let him.
Because the murder happened during the magic show, the culprit can only be...
Yeah! I'm in top form today.
Shuichi.
Tenko, why are you interrupting me?
Not Shuichi,
You can't
sorry.
have a good trial if you talk over me.
Kokichi is extremely
Huh? I'm not interrupting you. Whatever you have
suspicious
to
right
say
now.
is probably worthless anyway, because all males want to talk about is S.E. Himiko seems suspicious.
Tenko is just trying to protect Himiko right now, to be honest.
How can you accuse Himiko?
Because she has a big crush on the small
That's not
witch.
correct. I'm just telling you what Atua is telling me. He is using his divine knowledge to show us the way to survive. You should thank him, lest he pour his holy wrath upon you all. Screw Atua! That guy's got nothing on me.
Hell yeah,
I'll
fuck
protect
God.
Himiko.
That's what she's saying.
Himiko being the most suspicious.
Ryoma died during Himiko's magic show. His body appearing in the water tank leads one to think the escape trick played a part. It's only natural we suspect Himiko. She was the one performing the trick.
No, that's wrong. The underwater escape wasn't a trick. It was magic.
It's not the part you need to deny. You gotta tell us you're not the culprit.
Magic, huh? That's so cool. What a mysterious miracle.
This trial is gonna be a nightmare,
Now,
dude.
did you kill Ryoma, Himiko? Atua will hear your confession. Stop it! There's no way any of that is true!
It's true, though. Himiko used the underwater escape trick to kill Ryoma. But I still don't have a clue how Himiko did the trick.
There's no trick. That really was magic.
Ugh. She's
No,
gonna be
maybe
so
it really
insistent
was
about
magic.
this forever.
Oh, stop it. If you don't reveal your trick now, then we'll vote you as the culprit.
Stop picking on Himiko! A cute tiny flower like her couldn't kill anyone. I get that you want to defend her, but that might be a bit much.
I mean, I kind of agree with Tenko. I don't really think Himiko did it but only because this is Danganronpa and that answer is too obvious. I have... There's not a lot of leads. I don't really know yet. But Kokichi... So
Atua has blessed me with an epiphany.
Himiko seems
Culprit
too
used the
obvious.
underwater escape trick to pull off a sneaky switcheroo with Riona.
After that, the time
Kokichi seems suspicious, but also maybe too obvious.
Opened and piranhas came pouring out.
And he was eaten alive.
Okay, I know what the contradiction is, but I'm gonna let this finish real quick.
Savage way to go.
No, that's wrong.
Kokichi, Miyu, and
We heard you the first time, Titless. No one cares.
Kokichi, Miyu, and Kaito are the ones that I think might be the culprits. Kaito for kind of a meta reason, because they've
Atua
made
has
him
blessed me with
Shuichi's
an
new
epiphany.
best friend.
And he was eaten alive.
That's wrong is the thing. He wasn't eaten alive. Oh no, I missed it. No! Damn it. I missed it because I was talking. Yeah, Miyu is
Atua has blessed
very
me with an
vulgar.
epiphany.
And he was eaten alive.
How is that not the answer? Hold on, now I'm confused. I'm actually confused now that that's not the answer because the Oh wait, did I not have it on Monokuma
Blessed
file?
me with an epiphany.
I'm dumb. Okay,
The
that's
culprit
why.
used the
I thought I had it on Monokuma file because the Monokuma file says that he wasn't eaten alive. He died by
The tank
drowning.
of Ryoma opened and piranhas came pouring out.
He was eaten.
I accidentally changed it somehow. There we go. My bad.
That's wrong! No, Ryoma's death was not caused by the piranhas. The Monokuma file indicates the cause of death is drowning.
So it wasn't the piranhas then. He was drowned.
Yeah, I have a pretty solid idea how he
I
died. I just
see.
don't know who did it.
I haven't checked the Monokuma file yet, so that's news to me.
You lying little brat! Telling lies is what turns you into a degenerate male. So what? Ryoma drowned, Himiko changed places with him, and then the piranhas ate him, right?
No, Himiko only had 60 seconds to escape from the tank. Even if they changed places at the start of the show, that's insufficient time to drown someone.
If that is the case, then when did he drown?
It was before he was put in the tank, before the show started, yeah. That's my take. I think someone drowned him in the school pool and then
Ryoma was already
tossed him into
drowned
the
before
tank.
The show started.
Agreed. Before being eaten by the piranhas, he made no attempt to escape the water. To be precise, he made no movements whatsoever. Yes. By that point, he had already joined the ranks of the dead.
Could that mean his body was hidden until the culprit made it appear in the tank?
Hidden? Where?
The culprit would have had to hide the body near the tank, and then show it during the act.
Easier said than done.
Was there a place on stage where the culprit could have hid the body? Oh, wait! Himiko should know since she performed the underwater escape trick.
I just hope it's not Kurumi.
Why won't you
There's
just
no reason for
explain
me
it
to think
us?
it's Kurumi.
Because it's magic.
No, maybe it really was magic.
Come on, Golta.
Shut up.
Himiko is committed to her act, but those who deal in dreams are oft liars.
Why is everyone still picking on Himiko? You're all worse than a drunk dad's ramblings.
We should let him vent. After all, it's tough being the man of the house.
And we gotta figure out how the trick works to find where the body was hidden.
But Himiko does not wish to tell us how she performed her act.
Then let's work together to reveal the secret behind Himiko's trick!
So, not real magic?
Part of me thinks Angie just wants to figure out how the
No,
trick works.
It was real magic. Magic. Magic.
No! It's Himiko's curse! Her curses are really powerful!
Aren't incantations usually more, complicated than that?
How did Himiko escape the water tank?
Hold on, real quick before this starts, I just want to double check a couple of these. What is in Gonta's account? Okay.
Maybe she just climbed out and no one
I
noticed.
did not mean to hit that, my bad. Scratched handcuffs. Okay. Let's let this play out and
Nah,
see
she
what's up.
definitely would have been caught.
Perhaps a mechanism was set up on the stage.
The curtain covering the tank was certainly suspicious.
What about that square pane of glass we found in the tank?
Maybe the tank had a secret hatch. It must be real magic!
Yeah! Real escape magic!
Maybe there were two Himikos. And one of them was Tsumugi in disguise.
Hey, my costumes aren't disguises.
Okay.
How did Himiko escape the water tank?
Maybe
Let's see. Water tank trick. That's probably
she just
gonna be
climbed
the
out and no
one.
one noticed.
Nah, she definitely would have been caught.
No,
Perhaps
she
the
just
mechanism was set up on the stage.
she just insists that
The
her
curtain
tricks are
covering the tank was
magic and
certainly
not
suspicious.
tricks.
What about that square pane of glass we found in the tank?
Maybe the tank had a secret hatch.
I agree.
Consent. Yeah, she just insists that she's
Mom
not a
is correct.
magician, that she's an
There's an
actual
escape hatch
mage.
on that tank.
Basically, anytime anyone brings anything up.
So it did have one.
That's right. I discovered a similar tank in Himiko's lab.
I don't, but that's fine. I don't
There was
believe
a
anything
panel on
she
the side
says.
that could open. That was her escape.
Mind over strength.
Shuichi.
What do you mean?
And you don't even know why you're wrong either. Typical degenerate male. I'll smash in your face with my fists of hot burning steel!
Oh, for fuck's sake, Tanko.
The side of the tank being open doesn't have anything to do with Himiko's escape. She didn't use an escape hatch. I know she didn't do that. And now, I'm gonna punch you!
Wait a second. Before you punch me, what makes you so sure she didn't?
Because if she escaped from a hatch in the tank, the water would have gushed out with her. There would have been water everywhere.
I need it. Damn it, I did not do it fast enough.
The whole trick would be ruined. With that out of the way, I'm gonna punch you. Because if she escaped from a hatch in the tank, the water would have gushed out with her. There would have been water everywhere.
There was
I'll
water.
cut through your words. There was a reason the room wasn't flooded with water. The staircase that was attached to the water tank.
Yeah, I don't have time to explain what
Try to
that
remember
little
how the
mini game
staircase was
is. but-
positioned. It was aligned perfectly with the tank's escape hatch, meaning the water tank was connected to the inside of the staircase.
Inside staircase. His body was in stairs?
Knowing that, it's clear how Himiko made her escape from underwater. There was a curtain covering the tank during the performance, allowing Himiko to enter the staircase from the hatch undetected. Any water that spilled out would have simply funneled into the staircase.
So how do you get out from the staircase?
That's not a. That,
The
that,
staircase also
that little
has an
pink
escape
mage
hatch,
guy
one
looks like the
facing
AI,
away from
AOL
us.
Instant Messenger dude.
It's placed so that the water would not drain from the staircase.
In which case, a person could exit and leave water inside the staircase.
However, that person would be soaked, meaning that some trace should be left.
That would explain why there was a puddle around the stairs.
So when Himiko came out from the stairs, her wet clothes dripped water all over.
Ha ha, bitch! Caught you soaking wet and red-handed.
Oh.
Judging from Himiko's reaction, you hit it right on the bullseye.
But Himiko's clothes should have been wet when she left the water tank.
Maybe she changed. They have like an infinite number of the same outfits in their closets.
Clothes were definitely not wet.
Of course. That's because my underwater escape wasn't a trick. It was magic.
That's it!
Yeah, I'm a genius.
It's because she changed her uniform.
The dormitory is stocked with uniforms. Did you hide one behind the stage in advance?
I remember seeing Himiko go to the gym this morning, carrying a uniform and a towel.
Ah! Why would you say that?
I see. She had a towel too. She may not have had time to fully dry her hair. But her short hair and hat ensured we were none the wiser.
Himiko can't get wet, because her body repels water.
Okay, Tanko. For what it's worth, I
Like a duck?
for what it's worth, I don't actually
Himiko,
think
come
that
on, give it up already.
Himiko did it still. I think she's just really upset that her magic is getting explained.
You win.
Oh.
It's just like you said. The water tank and staircase both have mechanisms.
So I was correct.
But that doesn't mean I used them.
Okay, Himiko.
I didn't need them, because I used my magic.
Again with the magic crap. Were you dropped on your head as a kid?
Now that we understand how the trick was performed,
Miu is so extra.
Yes, let us proceed. Where did the culprit hide Ryoma's body? From our discussion earlier, his body could have been in the space inside the staircase.
But that's where Himiko would escape from, right?
So Himiko went in the stairs with the body? What kind of kinky shit is she into?
That seems unlikely. There isn't enough space for two people to fit in there.
They're two pretty
Yeah,
small
the stairs
people.
are pretty cramped. It'd be hard to fit even Ryoma and Himiko in there. Who says they went in together? She could have made the switch as she was leaving the tank. At the same time, she could have pulled out the body from inside the stairs. That way, she'd have room to put herself in there. See how easy that is?
Man, Angie's really,
I think that explains how Himiko changed places with Ryoma's body.
Wait a minute! Why did you automatically assume it was Himiko?
Who else but Himiko could have done it?
man.
Angie, you spent more time with Himiko than any of us, so why are you accusing her?
You may think you're protecting Himiko, but what if she really is the culprit? We'll all die, and it will be all your fault. Atua will lose precious devotees. Are you okay with that, Tenko?
I'm totally fine with that.
Oh boy.
I don't care what anyone says. Himiko would never murder someone. That's what I believe more than anything.
So did you do it, Tanko?
I want to believe in her, no matter what. If I can't do that, then I'd rather just die. So until this body takes its final breath, I'm gonna keep believing in Himiko.
Oh boy. Well, thankfully you don't need a 100% consensus in this game to
The only one who could have switched out Ryoma's body?
call somebody.
Is Himiko herself.
When Himiko was escaping the tank,
Monokuma 5, going to his account, insect meat
she
and
dragged
greed.
out the body hidden in the stairs.
So what is Kohichi's account? And what is insect meat and greed? It's probably gonna revolve around the insect meat and greed if I had to guess.
And simply switched places with it.
Are you telling me you saw that happen?
No one could have seen that. It would have occurred in the middle of the show. when the tank was covered with a curtain.
So basically, no one saw anything.
I didn't do it, I swear. Rioma's corpse wasn't in the staircase.
Quit lying, you donkey-lipped con artist! She's not lying! She's not a con artist, and she doesn't have donkey lips!
Ah.
The only one who could have switched out Ryoma's body is Himiko herself.
When Himiko was escaping the tank, she dragged out the body hidden in the stairs and simply switched places with it.
Maybe Insect Meet and
Are you
Greet's
telling
not
me
the
you saw
answer
that
here.
happen?
Hold on, let's go through what we got.
No one could have
Luigi.
seen that.
Hold on, what's up with Monokuma? What exactly is in the file? Oh, it's probably gonna be Gonta's account? Right, yeah, okay, I think I know what it is
It
now.
would have occurred in the middle of the show. It's covered.
So basically, no one saw anything.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Someone did see inside the tank. It was Gonta. Gonta had climbed onto the stage and was looking into the tank from above. Isn't that right, Gonta?
And he didn't see anything.
Yeah, Gonta saw down into tank, but saw no one in there.
No one was in there.
Yeah, no one. Guess that clue no good, huh?
No, that's actually a great clue. Because if Ryoma's body was hidden inside the staircase, Himiko would have had to pull him out before she went inside. There certainly wasn't enough room in the staircase for both of them. But that means, if the tank was empty when Gonta looked, Ryoma's body must not have been hidden in the staircase.
Makes sense.
What if they squeezed into that space with Ryoma's body to avoid getting caught?
She had no need to worry about us witnessing her at that point. For the entire stage was hidden behind a curtain. To all but Gonta, anyway.
Then the culprit never would have considered hiding inside the staircase with the body. Entering the staircase after moving the body is much faster, and seems more rational too.
Then Ryoma's body wasn't hidden in the stairs?
Someone better say where the fucking body was hidden, or I'm gonna start cutting throats!
I'm feeling it. I understand Mew's power here.
Where were you hiding Ryoma's body?
It wasn't really in the stairs, was it?
After all, there was only enough space for Himiko.
Well, how about behind the curtain?
If there was a way to enter the tank from there, then it would be plausible.
Or maybe the body was in the tank all along. But we just couldn't see it.
Impossible. You'd need top-notch visual effects to pull that off.
And what of the tank containing the piranhas?
No way! If you put a body in there, the piranhas would have eaten it way before we saw it.
But if the body
Maybe.
and piranhas were separated, then it wouldn't have been devoured, correct?
Maybe it's because it was stuffed so full of piranhas. I remember him saying
Where were
that it
you
was stuff
hiding
really
Ryoma's
full.
body?
It wasn't really in the stairs, was it?
After all, there was only...
Let's see if the piranha tank mentions how full it was stuffed. I don't know though, that I thought something mentioned the piranhas being really stuffed in there.
enough space for Himiko.
What?
We got water tank,
Huh? How about
scratching
behind the
posts.
curtain?
If there was a way to enter...
What does the square glass have in it? Oh, it's probably that, yeah.
the tank from there. Then
Oops.
it would be plausible.
Or maybe the body was in the tank all along. But we just couldn't see it.
Impossible. You need top-notch visual.
And what of the tank containing the piranhas?
No way! If you put a body in there, the piranhas would have eaten it way before we saw it.
But if the body and piranhas were...
I agree.
I love that consent thing, dude. That shit's so funny. That's such a solid
This is
image.
correct. The body and the piranhas were separated. This was accomplished using the square glass pane found in the tank.
Just as I thought. Using that glass pane as a divider, a safe space could be created in the tank. It is in such a space that the body could be stored, separated from the piranhas.
Then that means Ryoma's body was hidden in the piranha tank the whole time!
So Ryoma's body fell into the water tank with the piranhas?
Gonta knew it!
What is it, Gonta?
Gonta was above stage when piranhas fall. That's why Gonta sees something no one else could. When piranhas fell, Gonta sees some big thing fall into water tank with them.
And you're just now bringing this up, Gonta? Homie. Come on. Like, I really wish you'd have brought this up before, you know?
No. Now that Gonta think about it, Gonta maybe see Ryoma's body.
When the piranhas dropped from the tank, I thought I saw something bigger drop as well. The water tank on the bottom is made completely out of glass, correct? You can see what is happening through the glass. Can you really hide a body in the tank?
Even in murky water, a dead body would still be visible in a glass tank.
Unless a certain something was used to obscure the body.
A certain something?
We all agree that the glass pane was used to separate the body from the piranhas, correct? Well, that method has the added benefit of hiding the body from view.
Huh? How could you hide a body like that?
The piranha tank is wood all over.
Damn it!
Oh, I actually thought that'd be the answer. Yeah, it sucks that Ryoma died, huh? Like, what the hell? Oh, crap, that's it. Probably?
This is it.
Okay. Yeah, Ryoma dying
It was
sucks,
the
man.
piranhas. The piranhas were obscuring the body.
Huh? The piranhas?
That's right. Remember what Angie said during the investigation?
I mean, I guess Ryoma probably had to die because he is best boy, right?
They increased that significantly? I didn't know piranhas fuck like rabbits.
It seemed that way, but it wasn't that the actual number of piranhas increased. The glass pane divided the tank nearly in half, right? The piranhas got crowded together, making it look like there were more of them.
Big brain Shuichi over here.
The
Figuring
more
out
densely the
case.
piranhas are packed, the harder it is to see past them.
Because of that, it was difficult to see the body hidden in the tank.
That glass pane was the lid from the piranha tank. It was really easy to detach that lid, so it's no wonder they used it as a divider.
Gee, thanks for telling us that useless detail.
Damn, Kokichi.
What the heck are you saying? That detail was super useful.
Dang, Tanko. Now
Sure,
you're just lying.
the lid looks a little big, but if you set it diagonally, it would fit perfectly. Nice job, Himiko! Your explanation was awesome.
With this much evidence, it seems like the body was definitely in the piranha tank.
Yep.
Congrats, Himiko! Now there should be no reason for anyone to suspect you.
So that's what I kind of thought from the beginning, but I
Yeah, really?
found it kind of weird.
Yeah, because if you didn't switch places with the body, then you couldn't have killed him.
That no one
It
saw
only
the body
means we now
drop
have
out
other
of the piranha
suspects.
tank.
You are not cleared of suspicion just yet.
But now two people say they did think they saw something bigger
let's do
fall
it.
out of the
That's
piranha tank.
way
And it's like, I wish I
better.
would have known that before.
That's wonderful news, Himiko! Atua is happy for you.
So what does Atua really
Apologize,
know?
Angie. You and your Atua better tell Himiko you're sorry right now.
Atua is sleeping. He went to bed angry because you all doubted him.
But he was wrong.
What a petty-ass god.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's okay. We shouldn't be mad at Angie. We should be mad at this class trial, at this killing game.
Oh, Himiko! Bless your sweet, kind heart.
That's what Atua said anyway.
What?
Ha ha ha. Tenko gets
It's too
owned
bad that the handsome god
constantly.
went to bed angry, though.
Himiko's still brainwashed? But I'm not giving up just yet. This is gonna be a breeze. Great, now what are we gonna do? We're back to square one.
And why are we back to square one?
Because any of us could still be the culprit. Jeez! You flunked out of Tard School or something?
Jesus.
Nuh-uh. Not everyone. We can narrow it down to whoever doesn't have an alibi yet.
Chill out, Miyu. Don't be using words
What
like that.
alibi?
They're rude.
I guess I should have known a dumb whore pig like you wouldn't understand. So let me explain.
Who you calling a dumb pig?
If there's this much evidence, then there's no mistake the body was hidden in the piranha tank. But for someone to plant the body in there with such limited time is pretty tricky.
So, Kokichi is suspicious, but I feel like the game's trying to set him up to be suspicious.
Damn it!
Oh, I thought I hit before nighttime. Damn it. Whoops, my bad.
That's it.
I
It was
want...
done yesterday, before nighttime.
I feel like Miyu and
Ding, ding, ding!
Kaito
The ultimate detective gets it right
would be
again!
the most,
Wait. How do you know it was before nighttime yesterday?
would be the most likely, I guess.
Stop asking me dumbass questions. It could have been solved with the process of elimination. Jeez. Fine. I'll explain it to the itty-bitty pea-brained bitchlet.
Jesus. Itty-bitty pea-brain bitchlet.
First, the gym was closed
Damn.
during nighttime, so no one could have entered.
Because if you try to enter the gym at night, it'll go off.
You talking about my butthole?
What?
No, she means the alarm.
Was that a motherfucking
After
Bash
nighttime
reference?
passed, morning came. But hiding the body before the show
That's a little
was...
joke for, That's a little joke for a few of you.
Himiko and I were waiting in front of the gym before the morning announcement.
Which leaves only one possibility.
See you later, Noise.
It was
Enjoy
done
dinner.
before nighttime yesterday. Anyone who doesn't get this is just as stupid as the whore bitchlet over there.
I just realized that Kokichi kind of has
So
the
the
same...
culprit placed Ryoma's corpse in the piranha tank before nighttime
His
yesterday?
voice doesn't sound like it, but he has a similar cadence
means
to his
he
voice
was also
as, like,
killed during that time
Ben
frame.
Shapiro does. Which is pretty funny
Now
to
we
me.
know what time the crime happened, right?
I still don't really get it, though. Can we narrow down the time of death a bit more?
Oh boy. This has the most things.
Oh no!
Okay, I thought that that would maybe. Oh, okay, I see what it's asking. Never mind. Who saw Ryoma last?
This is it!
But I'm still not convinced that someone had to
If
be
we can
in the
find out who
gym.
last saw Ryoma alive, we can narrow down the time of
Because
death.
they might have done it from the pool. Because you can go to the
Kirumi,
pool at night.
You were
You just
asking
can't.
everyone when they had last seen him, right?
You just can't go swimming.
Yes, Gonta was the last person who saw Ryoma.
What? Really?
And when was the last time Gonta saw Ryoma?
When Gonta was inviting everyone to insect meet and greet, so... Gonta think that was maybe 8 p.m.?
If he was last seen at 8 p.m. and was killed before nighttime officially began,
Then we can assume the crime took place between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night.
So all we must do is find someone with no alibi for that time period, yes? Simple enough. After all, most of us were detained by Gonta then.
If I recall correctly, the only people that weren't there besides Ryoma...
That would be the four of us. Myself, Kaito, Miu, and also Maki.
Well, Kirumi, you would tell the truth, even if it screwed you over.
I do this for everyone. It is my duty to unveil the truth, so I do not care if people suspect me.
Ah, beautiful!
Your spirit of self-sacrifice is just too beautiful.
I will also say this. The crime took place between 8 and 10 o'clock at night, and I was at the gym during that time. But I was only there for about 5 minutes.
Why would you even say that, though? You're tying a noose around your neck, you know.
I don't care if it was 5 seconds. It's way too suspicious that you were alone in the gym. I think the cleaning lady here is the culprit. You killed Ryoma, didn't you?
It's too soon to tell. We should hear what everyone has to say, right?
Fuck that noise!
But Mew, you don't have an alibi for when the crime occurred either, do you?
Think I'm suspicious? I don't even know where the gym is.
That's a good
Doesn't
excuse.
telling such obvious lies make you more suspicious, Mew?
The other two without alibis are Kaito and Maki. Let us hear your testimonies.
I was in my research lab the whole time. I didn't go to the gym.
But that cannot be proven, can it?
What about Kaito? Only murderers grow out creepy facial hair like mustaches and goatees.
Rude.
What? My goatee's not creepy. It gives me a glamorous celebrity vibe.
Leave Kaito
Anyway,
alone.
among those four, the culprit must be the one who doesn't have an alibi.
I apologize, but given the circumstances, we have no choice but to suspect you.
Suspect who? Who's the culprit?
Wait up! Why are you guys suspicious of me? I've been helping the whole time!
Oh, wait, I remember now. I do have an alibi.
You will see whether or not I am suspicious as the trial progresses.
I'm not
Way
the
I'm the
culprit.
culprit!
Yeah, I was thinking that actually. Okay.
I have an
I was
alibi.
running away from Gota!
What is your
Tried
alibi?
hiding in the
5
classroom.
minutes.
When I was running from
I even
Gota,
tried hiding in the
others
group.
were
things got a little heated if catch
Until
my
they
drill.
left with
Friendly
them.
Bell, perfect.
What's Monkey's alibi?
Then right before
Before 9
nighttime, I got
p.m.
tired and fell asleep.
I didn't run it
Did
down
you
anyone.
really leave the gym at 9 p.m.?
I was in
Are
my
you
research
sure
lab
you
the
did
whole
not
time.
stay at the gym?
No, in my own room!
Shit.
I have an
I was
alibi.
running away from Gota!
I know that it's probably got to be that last
What is your
statement,
alibi?
Hiding in the
but I
classroom.
don't.
When I was running
Hold on,
from
let me
Gota,
see what the pool rules are again.
I even tried hiding in the
Rules
group.
not be alone.
It's got a little heated if
Kokichi's account. What is Kokichi's account? Huh. Okay, I'm actually a little bit confused on this one. Let's
Until
think
they
about
have to
let's
go.
think about this.
What's Monkey's alibi?
And right before nighttime, I got tired and fell asleep.
Did you really leave the gym at 9 p.m.? Are you sure you did not stay
What?
at the gym?
No, in my own room. Gee.
Oh no, Kokichi's account.
I'm running away from Goten.
Yeah, I bet I know it is. Okay, got it. Man, you gotta shoot that a lot of times. Damn.
I heard it.
That one's a little bit of a stretch to figure out, I feel like. That's a little bit difficult.
No, I think Kirumi is telling the truth. Kokichi's story proves it. Kokichi met Kirumi at 9 p.m., and they were together until nighttime.
Gonta went to the gym to catch Himiko and Angie 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. After I left Gonta's lab, I ran into Kirumi. I'm pretty sure Kirumi stayed at the gym 5 minutes till 9 o'clock.
This information could have been told to us beforehand.
It sure could have.
Sorry, forgot. I definitely didn't keep it a secret to make the trial more interesting.
Forgot? It seems far more plausible that you were telling another lie.
Unlike robots, we meatbags can't pull out our memories from our hard drive.
Was that supposed to offend me? Your irrationality fills me with pity.
If I am the culprit, that would mean I killed Ryoma within 5 minutes, transported him to the gym, and hid him in the piranha tank. This seems highly unlikely.
If you called Ryoma out to the gym and killed him there, you wouldn't need to move him. All you would have to do is hide him in the piranha tank.
Gonta was in the midst of heading to the gym to capture Angie. Are you claiming I took advantage of that and called Ryoma for a rendezvous at the gym?
That'd be pretty difficult. We should probably look at other possibilities.
Maki is pretty suspicious,
Maybe
too.
someone snuck into the gym while Kirumi and I were busy talking.
The only ones capable of that are the other three with no alibis.
Mew, Kaito, and Maki! Ah, you're including me too?
But there's actually one person we can rule out of the suspects list.
Miyu.
Right? There's one person who's totally not suspicious. Say who it is already.
It's not you, buddy. Unfortunately.
That's it! Kokichi, you're talking about Mew, right?
What? Mew?
Yeah, you can take her off the list. She actually has an alibi.
Booyah! Suck it, nerds!
Wait a sec. Since when does she have an alibi?
If you compare everyone's
because she was running around half
there's
naked.
no other possibility.
That's why. He looks pretty upset about that. Maybe confused, I'm not sure.
A girl walking around half naked.
Who else could it be but the horny exhibitionist Mew?
We can't just jump to conclusions like that. He just saw a shadow, right?
Yeah, it wasn't yours though, Kaido.
Could have been anyone walking around in women's underwear. Even
okay,
me.
well, I mean, if that's your thing.
That'd be a whole different issue.
No, it's Mew, without a doubt. You and Gonta's statements prove it.
Secret woman weapon.
I see. It sounds like Gonta got an eyeful,
What? Why the heck were you in your underwear, Mew?
Oh, well, 'cause, you know, I'm pretty stacked, so... I figured I'd take my clothes off so Gonta would be too flustered to touch me.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it, you cockroaches!
I mean, it worked, right?
Anyway, I think the blood rushed to both of Gonta's heads because he got super embarrassed.
Can't argue
Mew
with
was
the
in her
efficacy.
underwear, and Gonta got weird feeling. So Gonta ran away.
Well, when you got the body of a goddess, it's only natural to want to flaunt it. I show my panties to the boys all the time. And I mean all the time.
For fuck's sake, Danganronpa. You remember when I called this game
So you're
Schlot?
welcome, Gonta. Think of me during your next tug session.
Most of that was unintelligible nonsense, but it would seem that Mew has an actual alibi.
Keeb's over here keeping it real.
Yep, it took a while, but at least we got everyone's alibis cleared up.
Kibo is a Volcel
We
robot.
should remember all of this in case we need to recall these events again.
Runs on Duracell batteries,
That
if you know what I'm
leaves
saying.
Kaito and Maki
He's durable and
as the only
celibate.
ones with no alibis.
Then one of them must be the culprit. But which one, I wonder? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch the culprit by its...
Hold up! Don't decide just yet!
Maybe we should determine the sequence of events. The culprit
No, we should do something more fun. And I have the perfect idea.
Uh-oh. That's a
We
yikes
narrowed
for
it
me,
down to
yeah.
2 people, and one of those 2 is the culprit, right? Since we don't have to randomly accuse each other, finding the truth just got much easier. So let's find the truth with a more effective method.
And what is this effective method?
Oh boy.
If one of them is the culprit, then the innocent one should know who the guilty one is. Yeah? Because if you know you're not the culprit, then you can just accuse the other person.
Yes, that is true.
Which means there is one person among us who definitely knows who the culprit is. To that someone who knows, do your best to convince us. Work harder.
Mm-hmm.
Work harder?
Among Us, yeah, it's like the meme.
Have the 2
I mean, the
argue for their
game.
innocence. That's how we'll decide our culprit.
Even if we did that, wouldn't they just pass the blame back and forth?
And... You guys talk about cooperation and teamwork, but you're all afraid. You're too scared to point your fingers at others, so you hide behind the word trust. How do you expect to find the culprit when you're all worried about each other's feelings? If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically. Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit! If we want to find the liar, I suggest that the two suspects argue against each other. No more pointless deductions. All we need is for them to fight for their lives. So let's host an argument that's totally not boring but super fun! We'll catch the culprit in their lies when we find a contradiction.
Yeah,
we'll scare the culprit
Kokichi's really
until they
fun.
screw up! That's how a true class trial works. Right, Monokuma?
A development like that would liven things up a bit.
Yep, I totes agree.
You're agreeing with Monokuma? Just whose side are you on?
I'm on your side. I don't want to die either, you know. That's why we need to take this seriously. A hot debate to smoke out the liar.
And how do you expect us to start this?
If you guys need some help getting started, I can give out the first topic. Our first topic is this! Ta-da!
Oh, shit.
The cups pad.
This dude came prepared.
Not just any cups pad, but the one given to our latest victim, Ryoma. When we started investigating, I went straight to his room to borrow it.
So, it wasn't the culprit who took the video from his room. It was you.
And the reason why I brought it out just for this occasion is... because one of these two had Ryoma's motive video. Dun dun dun!
One of these two had it?
Oh boy.
And for us to figure that out, we need to know who this motive video belongs to. Take a guess, everyone. Whose motive video did Ryoma have?
Why would I know this? I don't know. I'm gonna guess Maki.
That's it.
Okay, my guess is that they got opposite
It
ones.
was Maki's motive video, right?
Because I'm gonna assume that the only way I would know that
Oh, how did you ever guess?
is because that I have Kaido, so Kaido probably has mine.
Oh, I know! It's because the motive video that you have belongs to Kaito.
Okay, yeah.
Process of elimination wins again.
Yeah,
The obvious answer was Maki, right?
I know that I have Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Never mind. I was thinking about it too hard.
Is that true, Shuichi?
I was thinking about it from a 6D chess kind
Yes,
of view.
You're right.
Not from just the obvious.
And
Never
what
mind.
about that? Just because Ryoma had my motive video, that doesn't make me the culprit.
Finally, you said something! This is how a debate should be. I only brought up the motive video to make you talk.
Excuse me?
Okay, now that we got the party rolling, let's get you and Kaito ready to argue. Remember, if you're not the culprit, then that means the other one is. Got that? Let's start this extreme death debate. Tear up the other's lies, rip each other apart.
Maki seems to like to think that
Wait
she's
just a minute.
very smart.
What are you
but
trying
she
to...
just
Quit
got
screwing around! We don't need to debate who's a culprit!
she just got hard outplayed by Kokichi.
I'm not the culprit! that's for sure.
Which means...
Kaito, wait. Maybe Kokichi is wrong. Maybe he...
But Maki isn't a culprit either.
Huh?
Oh?
What?
His face.
Huh? Really? You're saying neither of you are the culprit? Then what would be the point of this whole debate?
Who cares about that? All I know is that neither me or Maki are the culprit. It's just a hunch I've got.
Hunch?
You need a
being serious?
little bit better
You do
than
know
that,
all
bro.
our lives are on the line here, right? And you're betting our lives on just a hunch?
You don't get it. This isn't just any hunch. This is an official hunch from the Kaito Momota, Luminary of the Stars.
That does not
What?
mean anything to any of these
How
people.
illogical. This is even more difficult to comprehend than Kokichi's antics.
You're totally not serious. You can't be that stupid, right?
No, he might actually be that stupid.
Ah, Tanko. Jesus.
Damn idiot.
A two-a-damned idiot!
Hey, don't call me an idiot. Anyway, me and Maki aren't the culprit.
Two of damned idiots, very funny.
There's no doubt
Big
about it.
fan.
I believe in Maki.
What?
You believe in her? But based on what?
Huh? I don't gotta base it on anything. No matter where the clues point. In the end, the only thing that matters is what I believe, right? Whether I believe or not. Whether I want to believe or not. That's the only thing that matters.
So, you do not have any evidence.
Only baseless conjecture.
But I totally get where he's coming from. Because I want to believe in Himiko too.
Wanting to believe in someone is a beautiful act, yes. However, it is a sentiment that has no place in a class trial.
He's an idiot after all.
Damn.
It's okay to be idiot, as long as you believe in people.
Guys, I said don't call me an idiot. Really hurts my feelings.
But that puts us back.
I'll believe in Maki as well.
Holy at square one.
What?
That's our Kaito, right? Making us think with our hearts.
You too? How could the ultimate detective believe in someone without proof?
But there's no proof linking Maki or Kaito to this crime either. I believe in innocent until proven guilty. For now, they are innocent.
Right on, Shuichi. I knew I picked a good sidekick.
And by the way, I might be the ultimate detective, but I'm in training. I told you that, didn't I? I'm just an apprentice, not a real detective.
Oh, I didn't realize I had camera
How do
control.
you plan to get closer
Look
to
at
the
this.
truth without suspecting
Look at this
either
bullshit. All right.
of them? Unless you have evidence to the contrary, these two will remain suspect.
So I just have to turn it around, right?
Turn what around? This car?
Huh?
Turn this van around and take all these children home?
It's not like I owe that idiot a favor or anything just because he defended me. But that hopeless idiot may have encouraged me a bit.
Seriously, enough's enough! Stop calling me an idiot!
Poor Kaido.
What are you trying to say, Maki?
I didn't want to say anything, but I can't stay silent forever.
That's
so
true.
I'll tell you.
Oh, tell us what?
I met up with Ryoma during nighttime yesterday.
What?
At nighttime?
So Ryoma was still alive at nighttime?
I knew it!
I thought the crime took place between 8 and 10 o'clock
I
at night.
knew it! It's because the rules of the
That's
pool...
wrong, because I met up with Ryoma during nighttime.
If that's true, then we have no basis for suspecting only Kaito and Maki.
That's right. Everyone suspected them, because they have alibis for those times.
I knew it.
Means me and Maki aren't suspects anymore.
The pool's rules are no swimming. You can go in the building,
Mucking
you
around.
just can't
you think
swim.
I'm dumb enough to swallow that line of crap?
And that window is open?
Yes, this seems too convenient.
But why did Maki wait until now to mention that?
It's totally obvious! Maki's so desperate that she has to lie.
I don't think she's lying. Throwing that on the table now, I think she's telling the truth. Maki should have opened her stupid mouth earlier, though. This is real dumb. It's real dumb that we're an hour and 20 minutes into this trial, and we've been operating off a false assumption for the past, like, 40 minutes because she did not open her goddamn mouth. That's really irritating. Sure, let's save. I said this earlier before anybody with Accept Noise was really here, but if you... Wait, now the playtime... What? Hold on. I don't know what's going on with the playtime now. But... The, I think the clock is bugged. It's one of those things that... If you leave the game running in sleep mode, it doesn't count. Oh, it's not playtime? Then what's playtime?
Now then.
Oh, it's the... But 47 isn't a time. 47's not a time on the clock. Because before it, the last time I saw a save file, it said 63. No, I'm not. The game counts sleep time as played time. So even if the Switch is in sleep mode, it thinks it's still running. But what's really weird is it said 63 hours when I first started the stream, and I was like, huh.
The hell you saying?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Now then.
No! No, 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 no,
What
no.
are you saying?
I love this. I could listen to Mr. Monokuma's lesson like endlessly. Forever.
Another shocking truth revealed.
back to square one.
Square one? If Square won, they wouldn't have got eaten by the competition.
Square didn't get eaten by the
Terrible movie. They had no other choice.
Are they talking about Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
mean?
Is it,
It means he doesn't want to get involved in another pointless argument.
was that a jab at
like
Final
this
Fantasy?
one.
Amazing.
We shouldn't listen to anything Maki says. She's just gonna throw out more lies.
Because right after that movie, they had to merge with Enix to like stay afloat, and that's when they became Square Enix. That must be a jab. That's hilarious.
But if we don't ask her for more details,
What a great
how
video
will we know
game.
for sure?
I told you already, we don't need to. I hate liars. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Hugh, what happened was Monodum said we're back to square one, and not Monosuke, the other one, Monotaro, is that his name? The main one? Was like, square one? If Square won, then why did they get absorbed by the competition or something like that? And Monofi was like, well, after that terrible movie, they had no choice. So I think that's a jab at Squaresoft making the Final Fantasy The Spirits Within and losing all that money and having to merge with Enix.
More one to talk.
Maki, just ignore that lying little degenerate. We'll listen to what you have to say.
It must have been a little after midnight last night. He visited me at my research lab. He wanted me to show him the motive video that I received.
Motive video?
If Ryoma came to ask about that, does that mean you had his motive video?
As I recall, Ryoma had Maki's motive video, correct? Does this mean you and Ryoma received one another's motive video?
I actually didn't check the one I got, so I wouldn't know.
Maki admitted earlier that she hadn't checked her Cubs pad.
Then why did Ryoma think that Maki had his motive video?
If he went around asking at random, he might have asked some people besides Maki.
He never asked me. He probably never asked you guys either, right?
Then, who was it that told Ryoma about his Cubs pad?
Him.
It's you! That would be Kokichi.
Yeah, because Kokichi went and picked them all up.
So, you saw the motive videos. Did you tell Ryoma that Maki had his?
When males get this quiet, they're either caught in a lie or thinking dirty thoughts.
What happened then, Maki? After Ryoma asked you for his motive video?
I told Ryoma just to take it from my room. I keep my room unlocked.
Wow, Maki, that's super careless. Aren't you scared someone might kill you in your sleep?
And then what happened?
I don't know what happened after that. I'm not even sure if he saw his motive video. When he asked me, he said that he would show me my motive video in return. But I wasn't interested, so I declined. And that's pretty much it.
So you don't even know if Ryoma saw his motive video? What a bunch of crap.
If Maki met with Ryoma at nighttime, that proves he was still alive then. Which means, even though we don't have alibis from 8 to 10, Maki and me aren't suspects.
If that story is true.
Well, I mean, you're
true.
still suspects, and kind of.
Then why did
It's
you
not
wait until
sole
now to bring that up?
suspects.
I didn't say anything until now because I wasn't in the mood to be suspected.
Suspected? What for?
Kirumi said it earlier. It seems that Ryoma and I had each other's motive videos. And that's pretty fishy, right? So I didn't want to mention it to avoid suspicion.
You didn't say anything because you weren't in the mood?
It is quite selfish to keep this information hidden because you were not in the mood.
Well, whatever. Either way, let's just believe Maki.
I like, let's just believe her.
Those who believe shall be saved!
No,
You said
we
believe
need to wait.
Maki, not
There is still
Akua.
more to confirm.
Well then, why don't we ask Kokichi?
Huh? What now?
You never answered my question. Were you the one who told Ryoma that Maki had his motive video?
Is that really important?
It's kind of important.
Yes, it is important. Because if Kokichi told Ryoma, it becomes more likely that Ryoma visited Maki during nighttime.
I see. Kokichi's response may help corroborate Maki's testimony.
Now you understand why I don't want your charade. I want the truth.
Well, Kokichi, did you tell Ryoma?
You said it earlier. I don't want to die, right? If you really don't want to die, then you better tell us the truth.
Here comes the dramatic turnabout. Now I'm the one pressured by Maki.
Is that a drop of sweat on his
It's
brow?
true. I told Ryoma.
Just as I thought.
But that's not a bad thing, right? He wanted to know, so I told him.
Have you seen everyone's motive video?
No, not yet. I was gonna wait until we hosted like a movie screening party. I just checked who had whose so I could give them back to everyone after.
I see.
Anyway, if Kokichi told Ryoma that, then he must have gone to see Maki. That means Maki's telling the truth. Ryoma was alive during nighttime.
No, we cannot be too sure about that yet. Even if Ryoma and Maki did meet, it does not mean it was during nighttime yesterday.
So you still suspect me?
I am saying it could still be a possibility. If there is still a small chance of you being the culprit, then I cannot trust you entirely. Because everyone's lives are at stake.
Then which is it? A lie or not lie?
She's not lying. Can't you tell just by looking at her?
If it was that easy, we'd be done by now. No, this is a world of lies and betrayal.
Himiko! It breaks my heart to hear you say depressing things!
Yeah, she's
I
gotten
find
way more
Maki's
depressing.
testimony suspicious. It's far too convenient for her.
This is difficult to determine.
Maki is lying. Like I said before, a liar like me knows their own kind.
I'm not lying. I did meet up with Ryoma during nighttime. I'm telling the truth.
Oh, are they gonna make me pick? Jesus. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Phew. I was not ready to make a decision there. So wait, am I gonna have to lie? Is that the meme?
I met with Ryoma the previous night.
What a load of crap!
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
Okay, hold on. I need to see what Maki alone entails. Standing guard in front of her lab. She stayed in her dorm room only during night time. Okay.
Yes, I didn't meet with anyone else.
Did anyone see those two together?
Oops, no. I need to know what truthful what's
Surely they would have come forward already.
Monokuma file,
If no one
insect
can
meat
prove
greed.
that this meeting took place, then there is no reason to believe your testimony, I'm afraid.
As expected, Maki is lying to us. If you can't prove your claim, then it's the same as an outright lie!
I accidentally keep shooting it. Gonta's account. No, that's not gonna be useful. Monokuma file. No.
I met with Ryoma the previous night.
What a load of crap!
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
Yes, I didn't meet with anyone else.
Did anyone see those two together?
Surely they would have come forward already.
If no one can prove that this meeting took place, then there is no reason to believe your testimony, I'm afraid.
As expected, Maki is lying to us.
I am a little
If you
bit
can't prove your claim,
unsure about this one, actually.
then it's the same as an outright lie!
The previous night.
What a load of crap!
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
I actually like this better on the Vita, where you're playing on a touchscreen. You can shoot them with by touching them. You could actually get more than one of them. So the options are insect meet and greet. Gonta's account. That doesn't seem like it's relevant to anything. I feel like it's... Yeah, you're right. Playing on PC, just clicking, I bet I could shoot faster. I feel like Maki alone is
Yes,
the
I
right
didn't meet with anyone
call.
else.
Did anyone see those two together?
Is it this one? No.
I met
How do you change it to a lie bullet again? Is that
with
the...
Ryoma the previous night.
Is that the... Okay, yeah.
What a load of crap!
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
Yeah. Yes, I didn't meet with anyone else.
Did anyone see those two together?
Surely they would have come forward already.
If no one can prove that this meeting took place,
Yeah, I forgot about the lie. The lying thing makes the shit really complicated, actually.
I might not be able to prove they met, but I can prove Maki wasn't alone.
oh, please explain.
Well, Kaito and I trained together every night. And yesterday, because of the insect meet and greet, we started late. Huh? Ah, Kaito, don't worry. You don't have to say anything. Anyway, We were doing some frog squats on the school stairs when we heard two people talking.
People talking?
We knew one of them was Maki, but we couldn't pick out the other one. But now that I think about it, it must have been Ryoma.
What?
Yeah, maybe. That was probably around midnight.
Wait a minute! If you heard their voices, then that means...
So Ryoma and Maki did meet up.
No, hold up! Why'd you sit on that info for so long?
Because until just now, I didn't think it was relevant. I had no reason to bring it up.
Now. We don't know if Maki was really talking to Ryoma, right?
That is true. If I knew for certain, I would have said so sooner. But considering the circumstances, I can't imagine it being anyone but Ryoma. None of us were talking to Maki last night, correct? So it must have been him.
Nobody say you suddenly remember talking to Maki. It's way too late for that.
He's playing along.
And you two did not confirm who Maki was talking to at the time? If I overheard a conversation in the middle of the night, I surely would have checked. We are still part of a killing game after all.
Whoa, chill out. Why the scary face? That was my bad, but it's not really manly to eavesdrop, you know? I wouldn't do something so uncool.
Anyway, I know that we heard those voices. Maki is not lying.
Then Gonta will believe friends.
Man, lying to Gonta feels so bad.
Just like that?
Sucks.
But Shuichi has no reason to lie.
Yes. If his lie leads us to the wrong culprit, he will join us in eternal sleep. Unless he wishes for death, we should be able to believe him.
That's right. You can believe me.
Yeah, you're right. I'll believe him too. Belief shall set you free.
I'd be so surprised if Shuichi was a liar, especially after we believed him for so long. We wouldn't be able to trust anyone anymore. Well, it's not like he's lying anyway.
I can't tell if Kokichi can tell or not. I almost feel like he can. Ooh, Shuichi knows it too.
All right, that proves it then. Ryoma was still alive during nighttime. In
Kokichi's
other words,
really good.
me and Maki aren't suspects anymore.
I mean, you still are.
I guess that means everyone's alibis no longer matter, yes?
So, everyone is culprit again?
Gonta gets it.
So, we're right back where we started. What a pain.
However, it should be clear now that the crime occurred after nighttime began.
But then when was Ryoma's body placed inside the piranha tank?
At night.
Well,
Through the open
gym
window.
is locked at nighttime, so it must have been the next morning. But
That's not possible. Himiko and I were at the gym, remember?
So was it one of you?
So did we fuck up by thinking the body got stuffed into the piranha tank?
No, that's still
I
right.
don't think so. We have evidence to prove that's what happened.
And when did the culprit throw the body into the piranha tank?
The only time they could have done it was during nighttime, huh?
Did you forget the gym's not open at nighttime, dick cheese?
She called him Dick
Cheese.
God.
But that's the only possibility, because by morning we were already at the gym.
It may be possible they slipped by without you noticing.
No one can slip by me. I'm known far and wide as the snoozing sorceress.
No, you're not.
What a terrible title for a guard.
You're known as the
Positive
liar.
that you did not see it? You cannot enter the
A
gym.
lying liar.
Himiko would have seen it. She might strike out, but she always keeps her eye on the ball.
Yeah.
I don't even play baseball.
But we can't disobey school rules, right? The body was probably moved in the morning.
Wrong.
Calm down, everyone. Going to sure if we discuss
Can
disagreement.
these people just let me tell them what happened?
I see through your arguments.
Hey,
Disagreement? What? A disagreement? You mean you're split down the middle again?
Oh, not this mechanic again.
Then the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial
The music's good, but this mechanic's annoying.
Yippee! We've been waiting for this!
Jeez, you gotta do that whole crazy thing again?
I just thought we don't need to do it. I can tell them what happens. The fucking window was open. We already know. You're bad, dude. I'm not bad. You're bad. How about that? How's that? Was that? Try that one on. See how it fits. I appreciate that they didn't even like try to upscale these videos from the Vita version. This shit is low def as heck. And here-
Did the culprit move the body just before the morning?
Angie!
I was in front of the gym with the others, before the announcement.
Is it not possible you simply missed the culprit?
Remember, the rules state that you can't enter the gym at night.
Kaito, rules probably don't apply to corpses, you know.
The piranha tank is too far from the gym's entrance.
I've got this! You might be able to reach the tank from the window above the stage.
Yeah, that's the whole
Pool next
answer.
to gym also off limits at night.
Maki!
Entering the pool at night's what's off limits, not the pool area itself.
I've been saying it the whole time.
But should we trust Maki's testimony in the first?
Tenko!
It's okay, because we have Shuichi's testimony too.
Is it not possible you simply missed?
Did the culprit move the body just before the morning announcement?
Angie!
I was in front of the gym with the others, before the announcement.
Is it not possible you simply missed?
Himiko!
No, it's
We
not
were right
possible.
in front of the door. There's no way we could have missed them.
Remember, the rules state that you can't.
Kaito, rules probably don't apply to corpses, you know.
The piranha tank is too far.
I've got this! You might be able to reach the tank from the window above the stage.
But pool next to gym all
Maki!
Entering the pool at night's what's off limits, not the pool area itself.
But should we trust Maki's
Tenko!
It's okay, because we have Shuichi's testimony too.
We did it! We super did it! Hooray! Counter break. Cross counter.
It's true that you cannot enter the gym at nighttime, but a corpse could.
That's true.
I am positive that the window is how the culprit moved the body.
Corpse can do whatever it wants.
That window's higher than the piranha tank, and it's pretty close by. curtains might have been closed, but the window was open the whole investigation.
That means it was certainly possible to put the body in the piranha tank from the window.
However, I'm also positive the pane dividing the piranha tank was set up beforehand.
Ooh.
That certainly couldn't be tossed in. It would need to be placed carefully.
Uh-oh.
Even if the culprit were to throw the body from outside the window, the window is far too high. It cannot be reached from the floor.
Ryoma was small. Gonta could have chucked him easy.
Oh, let me go in here with the...
Yes, but Gonta wouldn't do that. Gentlemen not chuck dead bodies.
That's also true.
Being a gentleman has nothing to do with it.
A gentleman would not do such an atrocious thing.
They used the ladder in the gym. You tested it out while you were investigating, Shuichi. That ladder reached the window, right? So the culprit just needed to put the body through the window to pull it off, right?
But the ladder would need to be in the pool area, I thought. Oh, I thought it meant...
Damn it!
Okay, I guess I'm stupid. I don't understand the relevancy of that last one, really. But it does reach the window, does it not?
That's it!
Isn't that the whole point?
The only reason the ladder reached the window...
Oh, that was on the
If you use
stage.
the ladder on the
That's
pool
right.
side,
Okay, got
it
it.
would not quite make... The ladder could barely reach the window when it was on the stage. And there is nothing on the pool side of the gym as tall as the stage. Finally, the ladder was found in the gym. If the culprit used the ladder on the pool side, we wouldn't have found it in the gym.
And we couldn't have thrown the ladder back through the window because it's too heavy. Then Gonta used his hard strength to throw the ladder or the body or
Come
something.
on, Mew! Stop it!
Gentlemen not throw dead bodies. Or ladders.
The body could not have been thrown into the piranha tank to begin with. It would need to be placed carefully to prevent the glass pane from shifting.
Got it, Musclehead? Even if we injected tons of steroids into you, it'd be impossible.
Sorry, you're right.
You didn't need to apologize, Gonta.
How the culprit moved the body from the window. Ha! You guys don't even know that? What a bunch of dimwits.
Okay.
do you have the answer then?
Enlighten us. Enlighten us,
But of
Kaito.
course.
Put me in your rocket ship
Tell
and
him,
let's
Shuichi.
blast off.
Blow them all away with the truth.
I actually don't know that yet.
What?
The culprit definitely moved the body through the window, but I don't know how.
Seriously?
And Shuichi's just like, die.
Serves you right. You just made a fool out of yourself after acting all high and mighty. Dudes just need to shut up and take their licks.
What are we gonna do, Shuichi? We gotta figure this out or we're done for. Hey, you gotta do something, Shuichi.
I know. I have to do something, but...
I don't think it really matters how the body got into the piranha tank.
Gonta thinks it matter. We won't know culprit's trick unless we figure out...
We're getting sidetracked. It doesn't matter how it was done, just who did it. We shouldn't focus on where we found the body. Instead, we need to focus on where he was killed.
I mean, I think
Where
that's
he was
obvious.
Wouldn't it be more efficient if we focused on the murder scene instead?
Yes, that's it.
Like, they must have
We were
drowned
so
him in
caught up
the
in
pool.
where the body was found.
That's the only thing that I can think
When
of
we
that
should
makes
have been
any
thinking about
sense.
where the murder occurred.
The murder scene would definitely have more clues about the culprit. Why didn't anyone realize this yet? That's strange.
Perhaps the culprit steered the conversation away from that topic.
Then, culprit is someone in this room.
It always was, homie.
Well then, let's discuss the crime scene to figure out who the culprit is.
That's not a bad idea for a robot. The last time I heard such a good idea was when Nino told me to move in with her under the bridge to get out of the cold.
What?
You mean Hobo under the bridge?
Thank you, Maki. That was a helpful insight.
I can't believe you didn't notice that. I guess that's why you're still an apprentice.
Love this song.
First, let's establish the crime scene.
Wasn't it the dorm room? Ryoma was relaxing in his room when he got attacked.
But the cause of death was drowning. There is nothing in his room that could collect enough water.
He's got a toilet, doesn't he?
Drowning toilet? Impossible.
We should consider places where water is stored.
The only place that fits is the pool. Even if you use magic, there's no other way.
Well, it must be the pool then.
Nah, that little turd drowned in the toilet.
Shut your mouth, you noisy sow.
Ah, Sal!
Actually, I guess they couldn't have drowned him in the pool, actually, now that I think about it, because that would probably still count as
First,
swimming.
let's establish the crime scene.
Wasn't it the dorm room?
The cause of death was drowning.
There's nothing in his room that could collect enough water.
Drowning toilet?
We should consider places where
That fits.
Yeah, I thought that at first too, but then I just realized that's probably not the case.
The pool could not have been the scene of the murder. Ryoma was killed at nighttime. No swimming is allowed at nighttime, so a living person could not have gone in.
A dead body is fine because it's just an object. But if a living person entered the pool,
It's just an object.
I think I might
Wow.
cry.
Cry as loud as you want. I'll cry with you. We can spend the night together crying. In the morning after, I'll write goodbye on your mirror in lipstick before I quietly leave.
Oh, how romantic.
Only after you leave do I realize how much you really mean to me.
Your brother and sister,
Being
dude.
so gloomy. This is the year of the Jets. Fuck the Patriots.
Anyway,
Is that a
we
football
can conclude
reference?
it's impossible for him to have drowned in the pool.
An American football reference?
Where was Ryoma killed if not pool? Is there other place where water can be stored?
Oh shit. Yeah, the water tanks. Oh, the sink. Ah, okay.
This is it! The sink in Ryoma's lab. There were distinct scratch marks on it.
Scratch marks on the sink?
And I believe those scratches were caused by...
Oh, maybe the handcuffs?
This is it!
Yeah. That is true, Kara.
Handcuffs. They were scratched as well, correct?
You are correct. When the
Oh, yeah.
Patriots do
Sort
well,
of
the
looked like
Switch
they'd
has
been
a good
scraped
year.
against
That is
something.
that has proven true. Or not with the No, it's not the Patriots.
There's also the fact
It's
that
Tom.
the
It's
handcuffs
Brady.
were from Ryoma's lab.
Tom Brady? Is that his name? It's escaping me for some reason right now because I don't actually
The
care.
marks on the sink came from the handcuffs in the same room.
But that quarterback that kisses his kids on the
size
lips
and
like a
shape of the scratches
weirdo.
are consistent with the handcuffs, I'm sure.
How did those handcuffs get from the lab to the water tank?
Because Ryoma was wearing them, right?
Yes, though they were only visible for a brief moment when Ryoma appeared in the tank. I am certain he was wearing the handcuffs at the time.
The handcuffs were left after the piranhas devoured Ryoma.
So, the culprit handcuffed Ryoma and drowned him in his lab's sink.
That's
Ryoma
pretty
must have
metal.
been pretty yummy. They chomped up his entire body. Arms, legs, brain.
They chomp you up too, buddy.
Disgusting things! I don't want to hear it!
They don't care.
That crunchy
They just wanna
texture
eat.
with the fatty parts just right. Then when they bite down, it gushes.
Stop! Please stop!
But how did culprit handcuff Ryoma? He could have used Shikuchi method to get away, unless someone ambushed him?
It's possible they knocked him out before handcuffing him. Though there's no way we can be sure, now that he's not but bones.
I doubt he was ambushed. I'm pretty sure the culprit got Ryoma by... Whoops. Don't pay attention to little old me. I'm just talking to myself.
When you talk to yourself, pretend you're eating and chew with your mouth closed. Otherwise, you'll get a mouthful of peanut butter squid. It's so disgusting you'll laugh.
What is she talking about?
So we all agree Ryoma was drowned
What
in
the
the sink
fuck
in his
does
lab,
that mean?
right? That sink could have held enough water to do it for sure.
Alright, I'm calling it. The crime scene is Ryoma's fucking research lab!
But how did the culprit carry his body to the gym from there? Isn't Ryoma's lab on the 3rd floor of the academy?
It's actually not far at all. Although, perhaps it's more accurate to say there's a shortcut.
Another window.
Was there a shortcut?
Are they gonna make me point this out too? Probably, right? Oh, just okay. That's cool. It started right where I needed it to. How
The
convenient.
shortcut is the window in Ryoma's lab.
The window?
That's right. None of the windows in this school open. Except the one in Ryoma's lab. And on top of that, the window faced the pool. You could see the gym straight across.
Do you think the culprit dropped Ryoma's body into the pool area from the lab window? Then they could have thrown the body into the piranha tank through the gym window. How's that? Mission complete!
Your explanation explanation contradicts some things we discussed earlier. The gym window was too high to reach from the poolside, even if one used the ladder.
That's right! I apologize! I must go on a journey to reflect on this!
No, don't leave.
We keep hitting dead ends, since we don't know how the body was thrown into the gym.
Oh, it's probably using that pole,
Well,
huh?
that didn't really give us any info about the crime.
The pole from the tennis net. Is this supposed to be like a crazy taxi joke? Oh god. This is just Hangman's Gambit in a car. Sorry about that. Alright, well, this background looks cool, at least. Thinking time. Oh, do I just need to be in the right lane? Okay. Cool. The other setting was better. I want to go back to that synthwave ass 80s shit, not this desert. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, I got a couple of good ones now. Oh wow, I thought I would hit those for sure. That's obnoxious. Ah, it's a car. Can I get two? Oh no. I should have run over Monokuma. Oh, was that a hidden Monokuma? Should I have hit it? I thought that would be an obstacle and that it would hurt me.
It connects! I've got it! Ryoma's body was moved directly from his lab to the gym.
Yes.
Directly? Don't tell me they threw the body from window to window. I mean, we're talking about a body. It's not like tossing a baseball, you know.
No, I don't believe he was thrown. But perhaps another way.
What do you mean another way? There's no other way to move it.
The culprit must have used some kind of equipment.
Huh? Equipment?
With this equipment, they can connect the two windows and move the body to the gym.
Rope. Oh no, I didn't hit X. Or did I hit X? Yeah, I guess I did.
The rope found behind the gym stage could have been...
Oh, there was a mysterious mystery about that rope that only Actua can reveal. What mysterious mystery? During last night's preparations for the show, that rope was in the wing of the stage. But the next morning, the rope had been moved backstage for some reason. It's a mysterious mystery. Only Actua knows the answer.
So, during nighttime, someone used the rope, then threw it into the gym window?
So they did use the rope! That's how they bridged the distance between both windows!
Is the rope long enough to reach both windows?
The rope is roughly 65 feet in length. As for the distance between the windows...
According to the sign of the pool, the width of the pool is roughly 35 feet. And the distance from the edges of the pool to the windows is an additional 16 feet. Altogether, the sum total length from one window to the other is roughly 50 feet.
And pool is only thing between research lab and gym windows.
Good work, Cubes. You helped us figure it out with math. I don't remember.
You bet it's long enough! That's what she said.
Wait, who said that? Even if the rope was long enough, wouldn't it be pretty hard to tie them to the windows?
Both windows were too high to reach. It would be like tying a rope from one cliff to another.
If the windows were closer together, then they could toss the rope across. But they're not.
No, going to think it would work. Just need one more rope.
Yeah, make like a pulley type of deal.
Rope. There was only one, though.
Oh, then it's impossible. Sorry.
Yeah, even Gonta, who is like kind of just a little bit dumb also. Yeah, and even the ones that are like super dumb seem to know.
This is it!
Knew it was in there somewhere.
The tennis net cable from Ryoma's lab could serve as a rope.
How long is it?
About 50 feet or so. But how do they use it?
Okay, so... First, culprit hang rope outside of one window. Then, culprit move to other side. And tie cable to other window. Then, after tying to each window, culprit tie rope and cable together. That how culprit make one rope that reach both windows.
Genius.
Wow, that's amazing, Gonta.
I'm actually
You're so
sorry for calling
knowledgeable.
Gonta kind of dumb.
It's nothing. Gonta use ropes a lot when looking for bugs.
That is a real quality
did connect the
comment.
windows
You,
with a rope,
Gonta
they can't
was
carry a
raised.
body on just that.
Gonta was raised by wolves, and this motherfucker is contributing more than 80% of the characters in the other two games. That is extremely true.
Eureka! I got it! Thomas Edison once said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
Yeah.
But in my case, it's 100% inspiration!
No, I think it's all 100% perspiration.
Get it.
Sweaty motherfucker.
They handcuffed the body to the rope and slid it from one window to the other, like Tarzan!
The body would reach the gym window, but it wouldn't land in the piranha tank. Stop making such dumbass comments and keep your smelly breath in your dirty mouth.
Damn.
Tarzan? But they also had to put the body in the piranha tank after they moved it, huh?
That is not feasible with just one rope.
Maybe the rope wasn't the only equipment the culprit used.
Well, anyway, it would have been pretty difficult to get that body in the piranha tank. They wouldn't just throw it. The trick was a super crucial part of the culprit's plan. The culprit must have carefully placed the body into the tank with their own hands. But is there really a way to do that?
Yeah, I'm not
Peachy,
sure.
Are you hinting at something?
Huh? Hint? What hint? Don't confuse me with your talk of hinting hints.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure. What they could have used.
All right, Shuichi. The stage is finally set.
What?
Listen up. Do a good job here, and I'll be able to put an end to this trial. It all starts with you.
I don't like where this is going.
You be the opening act, and I'll be the main event. And then together, we're gonna save everyone.
Together?
I don't.
You got this. After all, you are my sidekick.
I don't know where this
I
is going.
believe in you, so I'm gonna leave the rest to you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh god, is it really meat on the bone tier? I'm guessing the first word is rope. Or the first part of the word is rope. Okay, rope. Ropeway? Ropeway, maybe?
I see now.
I don't know. I don't actually know what that means.
Yes, that's it. The culprit used something like a ropeway to move
What's
the
a
body.
ropeway?
A ropeway, huh? Are you sure about that?
Am I just stupid? What's a ropeway?
Wow,
I'm gonna...
you got drain damage or something?
Yeah, I do have drain damage, bro.
You need some kind of vessel to use on a ropeway, and we don't have that!
Yeah, I got luck. Because I saw the word rope early on in there. Oh god, hold on. I'm gonna turn this off auto. I'm gonna ropeway, huh? A ropeway is a form of naval lifting device used to transport light stores and equipment across rivers or ravines. It comprises a jackstay slung between two shears or gens, one at either end, from which is suspended a block and tackle. It is free to travel along the rope and hauled back and forth. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's really just like one of those things, like if two people were on opposite sides of a mountain, they would just put like a container on a rope, and then they pulley it back and forth to send things back and forth. So what is this puzzle game looking shit that I have to do here? Erase the pieces. Pieces will be erased when two or more of the same color connect. Yeah, puzzle games usually make more sense when you play them, so... Song's alright. It's getting better. Oh, hell yeah. What is this? Do you have to get rid of all of them? Because if so, I have kind of fucked up a little bit. Oh, okay, so you can just, Got it. Cool.
I see it!
I was starting to think I needed to destroy everything. That's a fun little game.
It's the inner
I like
tube.
that one.
The rubber inner tube we found floating in the pool.
The inner tube?
Remember the inner tube we found in the pool with a rope on one side?
Ah, good call.
Maybe the rope was originally tied on both sides. The culprit made a ropeway by hanging the tube from the rope connecting the windows. And because the third floor window is higher up, gravity would have pushed the inner tube along. The inner tube is made of sturdy rubber as well. It could have supported 2 people. The culprit used the ropes and the inner tube to construct a rudimentary ropeway, and used it to move themselves and Ryoma's body from the lab to the gym.
Clever.
Once through the gym window, the culprit stood on the inner tube to move the body.
Hey, Maxim.
Either that, or the culprit placed their foot on the windowsill.
Hey, Maxim, is this giving you mad Ace Attorney Investigations 1 Final Case vibes, or is that just me?
That way would be more stable, and let them handle the corpse more carefully. Finally, they removed the rope from the window frame and left the scene.
Well, when you put it like that, it certainly sounds possible. But wow, a ropeway!
You say the culprit placed their foot on the windowsill. Isn't that against school rules? It would count as entering the gym, would it not?
Me!
Last time we got asked that question, we decided it was okay. Sticking your body through the window is an automatic out, but standing on the sill is...
Wait, who asked you last time?
Eh?
It is quite possible that the culprit went to you to confirm the details of their plan.
Oh, shit!
Way to put your foot in your mouth.
Oh, shit.
His foot? Monosuke just unhinged his jaw and swallowed his entire leg!
Cut it out! I can't write this off as a joke if you two keep freaking out about it.
Then your little slip-up is actually the truth!
Pops?
Uh-oh. Monosuke's gonna die at the end of this trial, isn't he?
Uh-oh. Daddy's mad at you now.
Yeah?
Don't look at me. This is what you get for acting like a big shot all the time.
Stop. Do not bully Monosuke.
Is all that remains
Huh?
of a once powerful nation.
No more blaming each other. Everybody makes
Right
mistakes.
now, you're on the threshold of your
I want us all to get along.
Monodum's right.
Monodum is an
Monosuke,
anomaly.
you better thank Monodum. Less attitude and more gratitude. Got it?
Man, the trial was just getting fun. Why you gotta ruin it with that slip-up? But I guess now we know Shuichi's logic is right on the money.
So culprit really used ropeway to move body?
Yeah, they used the ropeway to move with the body from window to window.
Cool.
Ropeway murder! Some crazy-ass shit! But if the mechanism was that complicated, wouldn't it be hard to put it all away?
Not necessarily. All one must do is detach the rope from the window after using the ropeway. Then, after returning to Ryoma's lab, one could retrieve the rope from that side.
Tossing the rope into the gym from the pool window would be the final step.
I see! The rope was thrown from the window! That's why we found it there!
Okay.
With that method, the culprit must have made numerous trips from Ryoma's lab to the pool.
Which is why the crime was committed during nighttime, while we all slumbered.
But if the culprit was so careful to recover the rope they used to commit the crime, why did they leave the inner tube in the pool?
Because they couldn't go in and get it.
I believe that was an accident.
Yeah.
An accident?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. When the culprit was taking down the inner tube, they accidentally dropped it.
Then why did the culprit leave it in the pool?
That's it!
That's such an obvious question.
Even if they wanted to get it, they couldn't, because this took place at nighttime.
I see. They couldn't get the inner tube because swimming is prohibited at nighttime.
But couldn't they have used the rope to fish it out?
Not necessarily. You see, the water level in that pool is so low. Even if one tried to draw in the inner tube using the rope, the steep angle the rope would be at would make it nigh impossible.
It'd be different if they used a pole, but there's no way a rope would work.
Even if inner tube was closer to pool edge, water's still too low to drag tube in.
Correct, correct.
Sounds like a lot of work. I can see why they just left it there.
Yeah, it would take too long. And they would have been busted if someone saw them.
Huh! What kind of clumsy dipshit drops an inner tube and can't retrieve it? Let me tell you, this culprit's a real fucking amateur!
No, actually. Save for that one mistake, this was the perfect crime.
If Maki had never met up with Ryoma at nighttime, it might have been the end for us. Now, I still don't know if Maki is telling the truth or not.
Shut up. Personally, I find this culprit frighteningly thorough. Such a bold, beautiful plan. I never even imagined there was a ropeway. Oh, respect begins to bloom in my heart for this wonderfully cruel culprit.
What are you, stupid? Don't respect the culprit.
Now, we just need to figure out who the culprit is.
I'm really not sure who the culprit is.
But of course, it would be pointless to unravel this mystery otherwise.
So, who is it?
Looks like it's time for me to start the main event. But my sidekick here is on a roll right now, so I'll let him take this one.
Okay.
You're just pushing everything onto Shuichi because you don't know yourself.
Well, Shuichi, do you already know who the culprit is?
No. I'm actually not really sure.
Hey, Shuichi, are you hesitating again?
Is it?
Come on, man, there's no need for that. Like I said, you're my sidekick.
Is it Kaido?
I take responsibility for any mistakes my sidekick makes. So use those skills of yours I believe in to shove the truth down their throats.
You believe in my detective skills?
That's right. I'm gonna leave it all to you, Shuichi.
No, the TJs don't start till 8. My gut says it's Kaido. Okay,
I was wrong.
Okay, good. Okay, good. The game's not as mean as I thought it was. Is it him? No. I'm at a loss here, actually. Unless it's Kokichi. Christ, 53 seconds. I need to think. I need to think. Oh god, I need to think. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. No. Fuck! No.
It has to be you.
She was on my list, but I didn't want to believe it,
confirm.
man.
But Kirumi is the prime sub.
Me?
What?
No.
Kirumi?
Oh, so Kirumi is the culprit.
That is not yet a certainty. Let us hear her test.
Is this true, Kirumi?
I cannot believe you would suspect me. If that is the case, then I will have to deny it. I will not let you make the wrong choice.
The wrong choice?
If you do believe it is me, are you prepared to stand by that decision? I will refute your accusations with all my might, for everyone's sake.
No. No.
I, of course, am not the culprit.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one.
I have evidence that proves you're the culprit.
Do you think you would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous. That could have been done by anyone.
Kirumi is thin and has a nice body. She and Ryoma could have totally shared an attitude.
We all could have, except perhaps Gonta. I, of course, am not the culprit.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not.
Oh no!
No. I think that's the right bullet.
I,
Maybe
of
that's
course,
right.
am not the culprit.
Hold on.
The crime was committed at nighttime. You do have no alibi, do you? An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one. I have evidence that proves you're the culprit. Do you think you would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex
mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be
skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous.
Oh, I see. This is the wrong one. Yeah, okay.
That's wrong!
Oh, come on.
No. The only person who could have prepared this murder is Kirumi.
Oh, the black piece of fragments from her dress,
Well,
isn't it?
the preparations in the gym in any case.
And why do you believe that?
Before the culprit could put the body into the tank, several steps needed to be taken.
Like tying the rope to the gym window and putting a partition in the piranha tank.
That's right.
I fucking
Ryoma's
hate this
body entered
game.
the gym from the window, but that required preparation.
Kadaka can go to
It
hell.
only had been done when Kirumi was by herself in the gym before nighttime.
But Kirumi was alone in the gym for only like 5 minutes.
Not enough time for the whole murder, but enough time to set it up. Enough time to tie the rope on the window frame and put the pain in the piranha tank.
This is my selfless devotion. While I do understand where you are coming from, I assure you this is just a part of your petty imagination. An empty theory created from nihilism. If it were solely the rope and partition,
This has got to be the
I suppose
answer
5
because
minutes
it's.
might be enough time.
I was wrong!
Oh, shit. I guess I shouldn't have cut that part. Okay, my
If it were
bad.
solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time. I accept that. The crux of your argument is not but a guess. You continue to force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire case falls apart.
Damn, she's forceful.
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time.
How is that
I was
not
wrong.
the answer to this?
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time.
I don't understand.
Oh no!
Okay, I gotta rethink this then.
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time. I accept that. However, the crux of your argument is not but a guess. You continue to force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire case falls apart. If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time.
But I can't help but not cut that, and that's what seems to be fucking me up.
I was wrong!
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time. I accept that. However, the crux of your argument is not but a guess. You continue to force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire case falls apart. If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time.
See, like, that cuts it even when the thing isn't on the fucking word.
Is this... We can't let it...
Okay, so I just get infinite retries? That's funny. I was worried what would happen. I don't know that I've ever game overed in Danganronpa
If
before.
it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time.
Damn it, I keep trying to.
I was wrong!
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough.
Oh,
I accept
just-
that. However, The
Oh,
crux of your
just hitting
argument is
A.
not but a guess.
Okay,
You continue
I'm
to
dumb.
force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire
My
case
bad.
falls apart.
My bad, my
what
bad.
do you mean by crux of the argument? How is it just a guess?
Just so used to
I am
hitting X
referring
for
to the rope.
everything.
Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
Oh no!
No, I needed the scratch window pane, I bet.
I am referring to the rope.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Now,
good
with
now.
that rope,
I got it. Dumb
It is
hour is
possible to reach
over,
the gym
smart
window from
hour
the
is
third
here.
floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
Got it.
I'll cut through your words! I have evidence. The abrasions left on the window frames at the gym and the lab.
Those scratches from when the rope was tied to the window frame?
Just tying the rope to the frame wouldn't cause so much damage. The rope that was tied to the frames must have been weighed down. The frames didn't break, but they were left with distinct marks.
Those scratches are proof that you used a rope to carry the body to the windowsill.
Oh? What's wrong, Kirumi? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? Hey, 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 hey!
Is Kirumi quiet because that's what happened?
I don't want to live on this planet
Answer us,
anymore.
Kirumi. Shuichi is doing this for your sake.
If it is for my sake, then it would be much easier to forfeit. But I cannot allow that, because I must do this for everyone! I have a duty and a responsibility. I must serve everyone and protect them. So I refuse to surrender. They won't forgive me if I do.
Hey, Kirumi, who exactly is this everyone you're talking about? I've just got a weird feeling about this. When you said everyone, it felt like you weren't talking about us. It felt like you were talking about someone who isn't here.
Yeah, I kind of got
Someone
that
who
too.
isn't here?
Someone outside of the academy?
Hey, do you think Kirumi saw her own motive video?
Huh? The motive video?
You saw your important someone in danger, so you committed murder, right?
Is that true?
I am so sorry for making such a mess. Because of that, I made all of you assume something unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
You saying I'm wrong? This everyone you're talking about.
It is all of you, of course.
Really? Do you swear to a tour?
Yes, really. So please believe me. I am not the culprit. I do not care what becomes of me, but I will not allow any of you to die. Because I made a promise to Kaede. She wished for all of us to escape together. I want to fulfill my duties as the ultimate maid. I wish to serve everyone. So please believe me. You have to!
Kirumi!
Are we totally sure Kirumi's the culprit?
Are we sure Kokichi isn't the culprit?
How rude.
Gunta just can't believe Kirumi would kill Ryuma.
Kirumi's breakfasts were the best. She always treated us so well. She really is like a mom.
Perhaps it was after she gained our trust that she saw her chance to strike.
You really are screwed up.
Screwed up from head to toe. Even through your clothes, I can tell.
Shuichi, please reconsider suspecting me as the culprit. You only suspect me because I was at the gym during nighttime yesterday, correct? But you cannot accuse me of being the culprit with that insufficient proof. It is still possible for Maki and Kaito to have gone to the gym. They do not have alibis. They could have pretended to help Himiko, but secretly prepared the murder.
When you put it that way, it does seem possible.
We can't accuse Kirumi just based on our alibis.
Guys, maybe suspecting Kirumi is wrong.
Yeah, maybe we should think it over one more time.
I made a promise. As the ultimate detective, I made a promise to seek the truth. I made a promise to Kaede, so I'm not turning back now.
So you still believe I am the culprit? But there is no evidence to indicate that I am—
No, there is. I have proof that you're the— I realized it when we determined that the rope wake was used to move the body. If it was indeed Kirumi who moved the body with a makeshift, then the final clue falls into place.
Oh god. This is where the black fabric comes, I bet.
The damning evidence that proves Kirumi is the culprit.
Shuichi, won't you please tell me why you are so desperate to pin me as the culprit? Don't you want to protect everyone?
I'm doing this because I want to protect Shuichi.
Then you're wrong. Your deduction is all wrong.
Your words aren't going to convince me now. Not when I know the truth.
All you care about is your own reasoning. You don't even listen to others. You can't bet everyone's lives on a deduction made by a self-righteous brat.
Dang, Kirumi.
You can't save anyone!
Unfortunately, we know. Oh, yeah, it's the black piece of fabric.
This is it!
I can't wait to see her boss fight.
The piece of black fabric in the pool. That's the final clue. It's been bothering me for a while. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was just trash at first, but I couldn't dismiss it entirely. Now that the class trial has come this far, I know for...
Yep. I thought it was a piece of Ryoma's outfit, but no.
Because like the inner tube, it's evidence the culprit couldn't dispose...
Huh?
This sucks. Because it was in the
Using
water.
ropeway, you could slide the inner tube, but how would you control it? If it kept sliding and hit the window, the momentum would have thrown the body off. To prevent that from happening, the culprit needed... For example, the culprit could have used their hands for friction.
Yeah, so what? You're still wrong. Your logic is flawed.
Kirumi, why are you becoming increasingly irrational?
There is such absolute beauty in trying to fight against the truth.
What truth? That black cloth is just trash. You can't prove I'm the culprit with just...
No, it's not just trash. It's proof...
Here it goes. Oh, dope. She looks rad.
You are incorrect. What is this truth? That is just your empty deduction. You continue to confuse everyone. You are incorrect. What is this truth?
Oh, they're holes. I got it now.
You continue to confuse everyone. In this class trial, everyone's life is at stake. Because of your self-righteous truth, everyone might die. In this class trial, everyone's life is at stake. Because of your self-righteous truth, everyone might die! In this class trial, everyone's life is
What
at
is
stake!
the thing for the hold? I don't understand. I don't quite get
I
it.
completely understand your reasoning. But I will never accept it. It seems you wish
Do you
to
hold
pin
and
me
let
as
go
the
or
culprit.
what?
You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. I only wish to protect everyone. Why must you interfere? I completely understand your reasoning. But I will never accept it. It seems you
I don't
wish
get
to
the
pin me
whole-
as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. I only wish to protect everyone. Why must you interfere? I completely understand your reasoning. But I will never accept it.
That's what I was doing.
It seems you wish to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. I only wish to protect everyone. Why must you interfere? Ah! What does that piece of trash prove?
I was holding it till the, or I was releasing when the yellow bar fills. I don't, maybe it's just there's a slight bit of
The
lag
piece of
between my
fabric
capture
came
card.
from Kirumi's black glove.
Kirumi's glove?
If the culprit were slowing their descent by grabbing the rope with their hand, there would have been a lot of friction, easily enough to cause rope burn. But our culprit was smart. They weren't burned because they weren't bare-handed.
Yeah, the culprit had gloves on. One got all torn up from the friction and
It fell into pool?
From what I remember, the only one who wears black gloves is Kirumi.
The gloves on your hands now. I take it they're from your
Oh
dorm?
boy.
The extra uniforms in our rooms are made of the same material we're wearing now. We can test my theory by comparing the fabric scrap with your glove.
Well, Kirumi, will you allow us to compare the black fabric we found in the pool with your glove?
Huh? What's the matter? Why are you sweating so much?
Kirumi, what's wrong?
I will show you the truth. This is the truth of the case.
Danganronpa, indeed.
The victim's
this
body
game.
was found this morning during Himiko's underwater escape act.
Sploosh.
When we saw the piranhas in the tank, we thought that Himiko's escape failed. Of course, it was all part of the act.
I will after the closing argument. We can watch
But when Angie
the
opened the
murder
curtain
tomorrow.
in front of the tank, we saw Ryoma
I'm not ready
with
to watch it
piranhas
tonight
swarming
anyway.
around him. Before any of us could react, the piranhas devoured Ryoma's body. And all that was left were his bones.
If all
and
that's been
handcuffs he
announced
was
at the
wearing.
VGAs is the announce date for Babylon's Fall and Monster Hunter
That
DLC
horrifying
trailer,
sight
I
was
don't
the
care
finishing
that
touch
much.
on the culprit's own twisted magic.
How could Kurumi do this? Is it going to be another thing where like she had a really good reason? I didn't mean to skip over that, damn it.
In truth, the crime began last night, around while preparing for the show. It was then that the culprit and removed the glass lid. They used it as a partition to force the piranhas to one side of the tank. Next, the culprit took the rope from the stage wing in the gym and used the ladder once more, this time to climb up to the gym's window. Once there, they opened the window and tied one end of the rope to the wick. The rope was then thrown out the window. These preparations were key for the culprit's elaborate plan. At nighttime, past midnight, the culprit asked Ryoma to meet at his... All the pieces were in place. First, the culprit knocked Ryoma out, probably striking him from behind. Then, they put the handcuffs from the shower room on Ryoma's... and shoved his head into the sink filled with... From the water and the pain of drowning, Ryoma should have woken up and struggled. The culprit anticipated his resistance, which is why Ryoma was... The struggle left scrapes on the cuffs and sink. Ryoma was dead, but the culprit's plan had only just begun. They removed the cable from the tennis net and hung it from the window facing... And then, at the pool, they connected the wire and the rope from the gym window. They returned to the lab after picking up one last thing. The rubber inner tube. Once back in the lab, the culprit pulled the cable, bringing up the rope. They pulled until the rope was taut, then tied it to the lab's window frame, and thus, the gym and the lab window. After After making a hanger of sorts with another length of rope tied to the inner tube, they hung the inner tube on the rope connecting the windows. That's how the culprit created the ropeway that was used to move an impressive premeditated murder. But the culprit made two crucial mistakes. The culprit got on the inner tube with Ryoma's body and slid toward the gym. With the height difference between the windows, they would have built up quite some speed. To avoid crashing through the window, the culprit used a brake. They used their own hand to grip the rope and that would have caused significant rope burn had the culprit not been wearing gloves. But due to the friction, part of a glove tore off and dropped in. Regardless, the culprit reached the window and put the glass pane not only kept the piranhas and the bodies separated, it also kept the piranhas so close together, they concealed the body. After that, all the culprit had to do was untie the rope and the inner tube, but that's when they made their second mistake. One end of the rope came loose.
Yeah, this is a very long outro. I feel like you don't notice how long they are until you're watching a clock.
Pieces of evidence: the fabric and the inner tube. They couldn't retrieve the evidence because of the rule against swimming at nighttime.
Like, I liked her a lot, man. Come on. Why do they keep doing this to me?
And that's the whole story. Am I wrong, Kirumi Tojo? The ultimate maid?
This is like the worst thing you could have done to me at this point in the game. Genuinely.
That's the conclusion I reached. Do you have any objections?
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and save and gonna go watch the Game Awards because most people seem to be filing out to do that as well. We'll pick this back up tomorrow. I hate this game. I hate everything about this game. They killed my favorite character. They're killing all my favorite characters front-loaded. I understand why people hate this game, but it's pretty cool. I'll catch you all tomorrow.